We are Emiliana Nenem
and Silviana Carter,
the founders of Feel and Grow Rich project and the authors of the upcoming book called Feel and Grow Rich.
It is a great honor to introduce you to
Marki Spacilova,
author, transformational speaker, spiritual business and productivity coach.
Welcome, Marki.
Welcome.
Hello, and thank you for the invitation. I was just thinking about the introduction, how you nicely introduced me. I just want to correct a little bit of that because the book specifically is for professional men and women who are stuck in their life and they feel like they have the invisible chains on their hands, yet they are invisible. And yet they have the skills, talents, and abilities to even open their own business if they wanted to answer the divine call. But I specialize already because I, through the book, as I have followed each chapter myself, I evolved already, and now I specialize in tradesmen who are facing the greatest problem in their life, and that is losing their reputation. It happened to me too. I know what it is like when you lose your reputation, and it's very hard to build it up, but I figured out how to do it. And that's why I have created a special program, which is actually still in process, but it is for the tradesmen already. And why I said that? Because when I actually, how would I put it? When I started this book, I did not know what I got myself into.
Awesome.
The same happened 20 years ago when I decided, or rather I have answered the divine call then, that I will come to England. That was actually 20 years ago. And that's exactly what happened to me when I had chains, invisible chains. You know how it is when you are growing up as a kid, the parents tell you, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can do this, you can do that, but don't do this. You know that, how that goes.
Yes.
So when you don't have the knowledge, the experience, and you suddenly decide, oh, I'm going to see the world, what's going to happen? You have the invisible chains and suddenly you break them. What happens? You will have a chaotic life. And because I had a chaotic life 20 years ago, when I came to England, I had to learn really fast to learn about life. Otherwise, I would lose my life.
Awesome.
Awesome.
But
Okay.
I did say then, if I survive this, I'll write a book.
Wow. So Marki, what inspired you to write this book is what you already said.
That was the beginning of it.
Oh.
I did not have the inspiration then. I forgot all about it. The inspiration actually did not come until 2019. You see, my dad passed away in 2019 from terrible, terrible illness, and that was his relief, basically. But I wasn't there for him enough, and I felt guilty, actually, you know, and I was a workaholic. I was overweight and alone in England because my family, everyone is in my country, in Czech Republic. I'm alone in England, in a way, without family. So I had nothing here, nothing to inspire me, nothing to motivate me. So I was going the road to the road, rock bottom, as we would say in English expression. And but something changed. In November 2019, do you remember the Great Fire of Australia? There was a moment where people are sending on social media the videos about the animals, how they suffer. And there was one particular animal I had actually loved since I went to visit Australia in 2018, the koala marsupial. And when I saw the koala marsupial burn and the food on smoke, at that moment I had a realization. I have to do something about that. I just can't stay in bed till midday and do nothing. Well, you know, we are, some people are thriving, having a good food. Some people are actually throwing away food. You know, so much waste in the world. So I started to build myself up. Where do I get the motivation? Where can I get inspiration? Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? You would think that I had, you know, been reading books and stuff. Actually, I did not. I started with courses. I studied psychology. I started to study where do I get the motivation? Because do you know the expression I can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink the water. I had to find out the way how to motivate myself. And doing so, I was already ready for the COVID. You know,
Yes.
I was ready. And because I started the courses and everything, there was one particular quest I attended. And at the end of the quest, they have said, well, choose 5 modalities. By the way, the book was not one of them. Yeah, funny enough. And then, because you know how it was, and during the COVID, your holiday is canceled, you can't go anywhere, you know, isolation and stuff like that, depression.
Yes.
But that particular moment, when my holiday was canceled, I saw an advert from Gary Robert, who particularly advertised how to write a book in 40 hours in 5-day workshop. Funny enough, or coincidence, as the coincidences don't exist, it's like it meant to be. In that particular week, I had the holiday canceled. And at that time, I was actually practicing money mindset, how to increase my money mindset. So I attended that course, and because I was already building my money mindset, I purchased that program. That's why I started to write a book. And I already had the background that one day I will write about the book, about what happened to me in the 20 years ago. And that's why it's called Come Back to Life.
Awesome.
Awesome. Can you tell me about the book?
Yes, as I said, it covers the 20 years ago. I did not expect the COVID. However, I was infected with the COVID in January 2021. It was a very bad experience because I had to sleep on the floor. That was the best way how to sleep while I was ill. And when I recovered, I had the feeling I had to finish the book ASAP. And I'm glad I did, because I used my own manuscript to recover from the long COVID and severe reaction for vaccine, because I basically went too early to have my vaccine done. Because you said, you know, you have to have the vaccine so you can blah, blah, blah. So I did that and I killed myself again. But I had the book already in manuscript written, and I followed the manuscript. So the book is actually written with the principles of the past, present, and future. So you can actually use it at any time or at any stage of your life. Either if you had a bad experience, or if you had an argument, or if you are not sure what you really want in life, or even if you want to open your own business, but you don't know how, where to start. So this book is actually a self-help book in a way of with my experiences, what I have gone through, what I have put together, what I have experienced, what I who I interviewed, and whoever I have interviewed, I actually tested it for myself. So I actually experimented on myself to see how it works. And that's how I actually written it down. Like my friend said that he purchased the book and he did not believe that I'm capable of writing the book. He told me that this book is so good, by the way, he is on the 4th chapter only, that he was very impressed how it's written.
Brilliant.
Wow.
What are your top 3 priorities in life?
Top 3 priorities. I did write it down actually. And I have to say, you would be surprised what is more important. The more important, and as anything, the first one is self-care. Self-care does not mean you are selfish. Because if you look after yourself, you basically can look after your kids as well. If you know how to look after yourself, you know that you need to eat, you need to drink, you need to sleep. You are going to give it to your kids. You're going to give it to your children. You pass the experience, what you have learned about the self-care to your children, how to look after yourself, what to do. The next one is self-development, because you don't want to be stuck in the same level as your parents. Because your parents lived in different era, in different environment. For example, the Second World War, you would not have the same attitude and same approach to life as they did in the Second World War. You wouldn't, would you?
Yes.
Yes.
So you need to develop your skills yourself. You cannot follow the footsteps of your mother figure or father figure. You have to go your own way. You need to know what you want. What do you want to accomplish? What is your purpose? Because everybody has a purpose, right? And the third one is gratitude to all living life. Because you are not alone. As the people say, are there aliens in the universe? Why do we want to know if there are aliens in the world when we live with aliens already? You name them. You can say that we live on the same planet Earth and we are not alone. There are animals as well. They are nature as well. And they are not capable of looking after themselves if we create a fire or if we create a flood. So you have to be considerate of others so we can actually live in harmony and unity as a whole, because we share the same planet Earth. Unless we destroyed ourselves, I mean, we can ask for help for the aliens to help us, but they will invade us, and yet they will wait until we destroyed ourselves. Honestly, that's how it is right now. We are the aliens.
Excellent.
Excellent. What are the habits that led to your success?
Motivation, inspiration, and determination with the hint of consistency. Because if you are not consistent, you forget what you wanted to do in the first place.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Marki, do you know that we tend to become those who we admire? Who do you admire the most?
I have to say my dad. My dad was non-judgmental. When he passed away, I did not tell him that, and I wanted to learn from him how to be non-judgmental, because we blame other people for something we are actually creating, right? But he was perfect. He did not say this is your fault or this is my fault. He was just, let's do it this way. Because he was also a DIY man. He was having many skills. He could build a house from scratch. That's how talented he was with all the skills. Well, I would say as I did say it in my book, like father, like son. He developed those skills so he can be DIY man, do it for himself. Plus, he was a great dad, and he was a family man.
Nice.
So I would say my dad, but also all the masters, because I want to become a master. So you can learn only from the masters.
Awesome.
Awesome. What keeps you awake at night?
You would be surprised, but it would be the computer screen or the mobile phone screen. If I continue work and I have to finish, that is a deadline and stuff, and it exceeds to the point where I was like, uh-oh, I'm overdosed. Then it causes a problem with the eyesight and the brain, because you absorb the radiation of the screen and the blue light. So it will not start the melatonin. So now I learned I have to switch off all the equipment at least 1 hour before I go to sleep, because then the melatonin starts to be activated, and then you can actually sleep easily, just like that.
Great.
Great.
What advice would you give to someone starting out?
You have to know what you want. Truly, you really need to know what you want. Do you want to be just local, or do you want to reach out? Do you want to do just your business, or do you want to help out? Do you want to fulfill your need, or do you want to make a difference? That all counts. How do you want to start? Do you want to be a sole trader, or do you want to take the risk and become a company straight away without the skills and knowledge? Do you want to take the risk, or do you want to learn it first? That's all the aspect you need to consider before you actually open the business. And I have to advise you right now, don't do it alone.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Yes.
Marki, what are something that you had to give up to get where you are today?
My overtime. I had to give up money to gain money. It doesn't make sense right now, but as I was practicing my money mindset, for some reason, no matter how much money I have invested into this, somehow I got the money back in different way. For example, I was in debt long time, like I paid off all the debts 7 years ago. And I don't know how they found me, but they sent me a check worth of £50 saying that I have overpaid my debt. It was at the time when I was really, really short and I needed 50 quid. It was just before my payday. So you see that if you know that you get the money back, you will get the money back. So I gave it up.
Wow.
Awesome.